Hey guys, welcome back to Arry the Stag. TR Tony here. Hope you're all well and having a great week wherever you are. Been really busy this week, charging around the country, travelling around. So sorry I've been off air for middle of the week, but it's been one of those weeks, you know how it is. Building the garage as well, so that's kept us pretty preoccupied. We are getting there slowly, but of course until we get the garage done we can't get UNY49M back, and I know Alan is slowly working through, but we have been helping him with some other jobs as well, which we've got in the meantime, which I'll explain about in a minute. But basically I'm sitting in the Mitsubishi today, as you can see, the Mitsubishi Shogun, which we've had for quite some time. It's 20 years old now, so I decided fairly recently to put some money into it. So Alan has been around the car and really done a great job, fettled it and titivated it, and actually looks very nice on the outside. However, the inside on the leather, 20 years hard wear and tear, including the dog with sand and goodness knows what else he keeps running in, the leather's getting a bit tired. So I thought I'd dabble with this. I'm not an expert at all on leather repair, and I'm very grateful for anybody who's got any experience or ideas on how best to do this. Cut a long story short, I surfed the net for some solutions, and I found a balm online which looked promising, so I'll show you in just a moment what I did. I did this last weekend. It looked very easy on the face of it from the pictures I saw and the reviews I saw, so that's what I decided to do. And listen guys, I know that we have Stags and the vast majority of our cars are kind of the 1970s heavy duty kind of vinyl PVC, which is all great, and in fact if you've got that, it's advisable to hang on to them because they are very heavy grade and well worth saving and preserving, according to the trimmer up in Southampton we showed you a few months ago. But nevertheless, I know lots of Stag owners also have other cars and may have tired leather seats, so I'm being a bit of a test pilot here folks, being a bit of a journey, and we'll see how we get on. But I'll talk you through it, show what I did, and I'll catch up with you at the end. So let's go and have a look. Here is the Mitsubishi Shogun. We've had it in the family for about 7 years. Initially bought as a top gear car to get us to Spain and back with disastrous consequences, but anyway, long story short, we've managed to hold on to her, and actually she's really good for towing and whatever, and I've spent a bit of time and money on her recently getting her back up to looking good, even though she's done 213,000 miles. Still goes well. It's LPG and petrol, and so it works really well. And what I wanted to do today, as I said, was just get onto the seats and the leather. So I'm just going to walk around to the car now and have a look. And it's kind of an elephant grey colour in here, 20 years old. You can see all the wear on the kind of leather here has taken its toll. Sun, sand, because the dog comes in and out of here quite a bit, especially in the back seat, and 20 years of wear, people getting in and out. You can see where the weak spots are on the driver's seat over here. I've got to do a better repair first because that's actually torn off. It was like it when we had the car, but you can see here I just need to fix that. I have got a furniture clinic kit which I'm going to use to repair that before I re-colour it, but I thought I'd start off with the passenger seat first. You can see quite a few little dings, nicks and wear marks here, and looking at the pictures and all the blurb, it does look like the this stuff does come up quite well. So if I just pan up to the dashboard top, you can see here it is. It's Furniture Clinic, they're called, leather recolouring balm, and you choose the colour that is nearest to your leather. In this particular case it's kind of a derivative of grey, and the more that you use this, apparently the more it becomes darker in tone. And the instructions basically are to pop it on. We've got you can buy some applicators, so I bought 2 of these to save a bit of postage. You get these included, and that gets you free postage, even though it might cost you another couple of quid, so it's a good little trade up. So you've got to buff it on first and then allow it to dry and then buff it off after, and clean cloth, and after about 10 minutes. So we shall see what this achieves, and nothing to lose at all because it's a tired old car, but gradually coming back together, and let's see how we get on. Okay, so take the lid off, there you go. So it looks kind of nice and grey. Does actually recommend you should start to use this on a trial piece that's not that visible. To be honest, I think mine are so pants, as you can see, that I'll just give it a go anyway, and nothing much to lose, I don't think. Let's try a bit of from the top of the lid first and see what we can get on the pad there, and let's see how this works or not. We'll do it before and after over a period of time. I guess I can use a bit more than that, a bit more than that, and a bit more than that has gone on now. So just rubbing it in, working it into the leather, and already I think you can see some of the grainy gritty stuff is beginning to look a bit better. I guess you've got to let it soak in, and only before and after videos will testimony as to whether it works or not. So I'll just keep going with this, and back to you shortly with updates as we go. And I'm giving it a lot more gloopy stuff where it's obviously been high wear in the past, just to see if that makes any difference. Noting that the more that you apply, the darker it is, but I think that's per coat. I think we're all right if we're just rubbing it in now. And I know the Stags of majority are mostly 1970s PVC, which incidentally, according to the trimmer in Southampton, he said actually the quality of that PVC is extremely good. He'll hold on to any old scraps, don't chuck them away, old seats, because the old PVC apparently is a lot thicker, a lot more hard wearing, and so he can often use little panels here and there where he wants to. But I'm just going to keep going with this, and slowly but surely, hopefully, things will start to look up. So just keep dabbing on, and dab it on. Yet more in the middle. I'm not being afraid of this at all. Get it stuck in. Presumably we can buff it off nicely later. Better not sit on it in my suit. That wouldn't go down at all well. Alright, so I've not been backward in coming forward. I think you can see there the cloth has been well dipped. It's now beginning to come through the other side. I've done the whole seat squab, and actually just lightly did the back as well. So hopefully that will help it. And now I'm going to leave it for a few minutes and then come back and start to buff it off. Reminds me of calamine lotion, this, for those old enough to remember calamine lotion. Being ginger, I had bad experiences with calamine lotion and sunburn in particular way back in the 70s. So it's a bit like that. So wait for it to go off and then we can rub it off after. And I've just done the seat back and the head restraint, and then in the back seat just work round the seat on the back there as well. So I know it doesn't need it, but best to keep it similar. Right, we have returned about 20 minutes after applying the liquid, and as you can see it's pretty well dried on. Actually doesn't come off on your fingers, so appears to have been absorbed into the leather, which is good. Now I'm going to apply my buffing cloth to see if that does the trick. So let's get on with that and let's see what that reveals. Might take me a few minutes this, so I'll just carry on and check in a minute, I think. Okay, so I've given it a good buff. Not exactly over enamoured with the finish, if I'm really honest. Appears more to have painted it and stained it. I know it's supposed to be that colour, but when you can see marks like that it's left, okay, maybe I haven't applied it in the best possible way. Had assumed it would be a lot easier to do, but maybe I need to do some more coats. So I'm going to do that now again, repeat the process you saw earlier. Definitely a bit darker or better looking than the other side. If you look at the control, you can see over there, that's that one, and then this one is better, certainly feels less cracked. Hasn't had the magical properties that I had hoped it would. You can kind of quite see the difference there between the driver's seat and the passenger seat, but I'll give it another coat and then try and buff it off maybe a bit quicker this time, see if that improves the situation further. So this time I've actually tried to apply it a little bit more carefully so I don't get any striation marks or as bad as they were before. So we'll see what that does and buff it off in due course. Fingers crossed. Okay, so this is where we started with the leather recolouring balm from Furniture Clinic. We buffed it on with the buffing pad here. You saw earlier how it was a bit striated, but now I think actually it's come up quite well. And while it hasn't got rid of all of the stripy damage as I had hoped it might, it certainly feels a lot more supple. And I think if you compare it to the control, which is the driver's seat, which I haven't done yet, I'll have to do that another weekend, I think you can see actually there's quite a bit of difference. It does look a lot cleaner and brighter, and certainly my wife was quite impressed with it. What seemed to make the difference ultimately was applying this stuff afterwards. So once I'd buffed off the recolouring balm, I then applied, as it says, some kind of leather cream just to make the leather a bit more supple and to hold it in, basically hold the colour in. So I went over with that and buffed it off with a cloth, and just finishing that off now. And actually, okay, it's not brilliant. I might have another regroup and see what else I could use, but that's not bad. I'm reasonably happy that at least it's safer and in more supple situation than it was at the start. And I guess I'll have to go back to the start of the film just to see what effect overall it's had compared to how it was before I started. But as I say, certainly it seems a lot better than the driver's seat, and I will perhaps have a go at that maybe next weekend when I get some time. Okay guys, so yeah, limited effect I think. I'm not overall happy with the outcome. As I said at the start, I may well have not done it right. I suspect now, having looked back, I needed to use some filler first and maybe some pigment and paints and whatever. But what I did manage to do in between last weekend and this weekend was get hold of this stuff. It's a complete leather repair kit, and maybe I'll feature this as another part of another film. But if you look inside, there's literally lots and lots of pots of things you can mix, paint and filler and sandpaper and all sorts of stuff, which you can then colour code like you saw the other lip balm. I was going to say the leather balm. You can actually colour code that to the cars and brew up your own kind of colour. So I will have a look at this to see if I can get into some of those big striations and cracks that really didn't come out. But equally, as I said at the front end of the film, I'm still very interested in anybody out there who has used a product that works really, really well for them. And maybe it's something you can share, and then maybe I can share that with you back online. So there you go, that's this weekend. I'm out and about travelling this weekend, so sorry not to check in with any stags, but we will back to you shortly. Hopefully it's a bit of a change from stags, just looking at the Mitsi. And thanks for watching. Please feel free as ever to like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you online on Arry the Stag very soon. Don't forget to get your badge of honour if you've not got one already. Cheers for now. Bye.